Hello, I'm here for the not so requested tutorial for the 7x7 flying machine cyclist. Well, as of recording this, world record 13x3x23 897. If you haven't seen the showcase, go watch it. It gives a very brief explanation. It doesn't go in depth, but it's really cool. Just explains somewhat how the layout works, but not going like powering each piston. But yeah, so today I'm going to be doing the entirety of the top. Bottom will be done in a separate video by GuardienGamer and maybe Bruhjef if they can work out a time. But yeah, I'm going to be doing the top exclusively, and yeah, let's get started. So the input for the top will be this slider here. That'll be powered from the input back over here. So, probably not the best order to do things, but I really couldn't be bothered to wait. So you're gonna have your door frame. Starting here, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then place your piston. Have an observer, and then just have this pillar. It'll be 10 glass blocks in the observer. Then you're going to go into, I guess we can start with layout. So, layout's sort of interesting. We have note blocks here. I'm actually going to remove some of this so it doesn't get in my way. Observers here. And these blocks here do have to be solid for the door to work, so keep that in mind when making the door, if you're building this in survival or just recreating it for fun. So you'll have that dust input there. One more here. And then 5 blocks here. 5. Then you're gonna go like so. Have your piston start sort of in line with this dust. You could technically shave a layer off the top if you really wanted to, but I'm not gonna have an enormous slider up here. It would just be way too painful, in my opinion. You could probably do it, but like, ew. There's like no room. And then you're gonna have 5 pistons here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a quintuple piston extender, or it goes down to the sextuple level and can be compared to 1, because normally in observerless doors you have a sextuple where this is up, and then you just have an air block. But we don't have that because observers. I don't care, that's white wool. I'll do that later. So then you're gonna have pistons here. These will, so when ping powers, these pistons will grab the observers here, pull them into the piston stack, where this double will extend weirdly. It's a derpy double, but it works. And then that will do like the powering at this level and this level here, which again is going to be really cool to see once you get the entire door done. I'll make the input for this later because it's sort of just all over the place. You could have a dust input, but we didn't end up having that for spatial reasons. Let me check something. Okay. So I've just been notified that I'm going to be doing the entire layout, so I guess you can start with that. You also are going to have an updater piston here, I guess. So that'll update the pistons at this level, because they don't get updated otherwise. You're also going to have updater here. Wait. Here. No block piston, because we have an observer here, and it could be that, but the dust would also bud the piston here. You also have a, where's that? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm gonna place this hopper for now. gonna have this. Yeah. So this will update the pistons as if there's a piston updater here, but we don't have room for one of those. Again, space. It's pretty. Yeah. So that's the top layout, I guess. I didn't make the bottom, so I'm probably gonna screw this up, but whatever. You're gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're gonna have 6 blocks total in this column. So including the floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna fill the entire thing up. You could also have you could also shave a layer off the bottom, but again, space. So we opted to have glass here, and then just move these down. You're also gonna see me using a lot of world edit because I simply can't be bothered like doing 0 ticks and whatnot just for card clips, but they're all possible. I've tested it to the side. I just copy them over because I just found it easier. But yeah, the tape I'm gonna leave for the others because it's not really important. So yeah, and that's sort of the layout done. Did I see anything? Nope. So I guess we can just get into cyan. So cyan is the top extender, which I made this entire top by myself. Like, yeah, that was painful. It was like 3 weeks of agony, I'd say. It's not true agony, just annoying, because I had to redo cyan a few times, lime 5 times, pink 5 times, purple went through like a revision. As you can see, I had to get as much dye as possible, so I reused this orange block. Also, this should be pink probably. Doesn't really change anything, obviously, but yeah. So the way this layout works is we have a sequence. Actually, I'm not gonna copy this over. I'm just gonna world edit it because it's easier. Actually, first I'm gonna have Hopper here. That'll do your updater for this level here. So this is the layout. We have all of the updates on this side, even though it doesn't really matter. And yeah, so the sequence is a bit weird, but it works. Actually, it's fine. I'm not gonna write it out, but basically the sequence goes like this. So this will get a very long pulse. This will get a 1 tick, and then that is linked to a 4 tick. So that'll, sorry for the lag, but that'll push these pistons down here. And then that same thing will happen again, so B, 4 tick. I'm just gonna label these. So this top one is A, B, C, and then D, even though it's not really an input because C is linked to D. This sequence actually what comes from a previous revision of the door where we had like this, it was a 4 wide where we had this in here and then this was an ob. And then we had a dust line here, so it worked out. And then you retract this. So that'll get you to here, and then after that, you just do that. This doesn't power or anything. And then I'm actually gonna make this input here. So that's all of cyan, really. Up there. So then what'll happen is B2 tick, C gets a 4 tick. So that these actually do spit, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna retract these. So basically, it would do a bunch of redundant pulses to kill time, and then also have like a stack and 8 items delay for even more delay, because the bottom tape is like really slow, or the bottom's tape. There's 2 tapes in the bottom, but so this will just spit out the block, but for time's sake, I'm just gonna do that. And then you get a B times 3 fast, so it'll do 1, 2, 3, but this will be timed. And then you just get a long pulse, and then this will extend out. So that effectively moves these blocks down to here, at which point the bottom will cycle piston through here, and then through here. It's the same tape, it will just go through here and then power. So that's why we need to keep these blocks out for a really, really, really long time. And I didn't bother having a huge delay for the double pulse of this vortex, so we just spit out the blocks and fired the sequence instead of 3 times, 6 times, and it worked out. So then the sequence will power again. Actually, you'll get a redundant purple, which doesn't really do anything. It'll do 1, 2, 3, and then just give this a double 2 times fast. So A, B, C4 tick, which will do that. B, C4 tick, so that'll move these back down. This, there, and then this will go over. So this is where fun things happen. I'm probably gonna get this wrong because it happens so fast. It's like pulses get canceled out. But B times 2, or B 2 tick, sorry. C, B times 3 fast, and then C4 tick. So that retracted the blocks. If you didn't see, they were down here because these pistons were pulled up, and then that just retracted these up. And then for the final thing, for the final sequence, well, 3rd and 6th sequence technically, we just do redundant purple, and then we just do the entire sequence again, just without the top A. So B, C4 tick, B, C4 tick, and then purple will fire. That's not meant to happen, but it'll just retract. And that does the entire sequence, which I'm surprised I figured out, but it worked. Yeah, so what I'm about to do is do the cyan, which is everything up to here. So, hold up. We start with, yes, I'm gonna use schematics because I can't be bothered. So, sort of, there's going to be a comparator here on Lime, just FYI. So from 1, 2, and then up, and then the 3, or I'm going to go to 5, block. That's not a block. Yes, it is a block, it's just Lime. And then that'll power the sequence. So first we have to have a 3-state dropper loop for this. So what I ended up having was dropper 1, 2, 3, hopper, block, comparator, piston. That's a slab. Yeah, and then that is no block. Because we also have another piston here. So, we can start with this. So, I'm just grab a cyan glass. Again, this is uncoordinated, so whatever. So you're gonna have a 3 tick here, a dust. So this dust will power these two. This is not locational, it'll always power this one, then this one. And this one's butted, so we have to update it with this piston and this piston here. So this will always power last. So that'll give an output through this note block here. You get a 2-tick block piston here. Now, this is the fun, me waving my hands, pretending that I know what I'm doing, because, I mean I do, but there's going to be a few cobweb timers. So first, I'm just going to build one over here to show. So a cobweb timer basically gives a very long delay from a very short or relatively short delay. I don't really care that I nudged that. So if you take an output from like this comparator pulse is that short pulse will be turned into a very, very, very long pulse, and then will turn off. So we use that here, but we also limit, because we don't want a long enough delay to the point where it's so slow I want to cry myself to sleep slow. I want this to be somewhat fast, so I actually spent like a solid 30 minutes trying to limit this limiter, or this cart and this cart, and actually went through a few revisions itself. It's wooden. This actually used to be an armor stand, and then eel, so that's not that, that's that. So then you also have this boat here, which, again, what's up there, is resting on a few blocks. So, can't really see. Oh wait, you can't see that. So we're gonna have a boat resting on this trapdoor over here, and this is a carpet, so it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna have a trapdoor here, but we also have a boat on a carpet here. So we have to put the boat on the carpet first, and then zero tick the trapdoor in. So first, let me just get this limiter in. Actually, really easy. Not a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people know about the limiter. It's just I don't see it used a lot. Just pop that in there. So basically, what this will do is can I power this without everything dying? Power through here. So you have this, and then this, when this retracts, will clip up the minecart like so, and then it'll be stopped by the cobweb. Normally it would just go on top of the piston, but it's stopped by the cobweb just in time. That's there. Gonna take that there. We also do take an output there as well, and that's what. So this is part of lime actually, so I'll wait for that. But this will be used there for later. Don't remove it. Then we have piston here. It actually can be facing this way or this way. I just like facing this way, it looks cooler. Observer here and here, but actually inside the door. You could use World Edit for this, but if you don't have World Edit, you could just as easily use sticky pistons and put a button on the side of, not on the back, but the side of a piston, and just zero tick it in. I should have put obsidian. You should probably put obsidian if you don't want to, you know, have to reset your entire door like I have to now. That should do. Just put obsidian. You're also gonna have a wooden pressure plate here. And here's the limiters. First, replace this block. I'm gonna put a boat. Yes. Boat here. Make sure that if you hit F3 plus B, you can see hitboxes in chat. This should be in, but just make sure it's guaranteed to be like above the cart. And then you're gonna want to get a trapdoor, as I said earlier. Where are my trapdoors? There you go. If you're in a survival world where this can be clipped or flicked, please use an iron trapdoor. And then 0 ticket in. Then you're gonna get a boat on top of the trapdoor, so I recommend placing a second one. Place your boat here. That's in the other boat. Hold up. Not good. So just nudge it there. Make sure that it's like if you hit W, it doesn't move. It's sort of inside of the cobwebs hitbox. So that'll guarantee that this cart is limited by it. And then you can break this trapdoor. Make sure you still have that one. And boom, we have the limiter. And then this will be a separate cart for purple. But yeah, that does the A long and then the 2B1 ticks. You're gonna want to have this here for the C4 tick. So that'll actually do the entire sequence minus the final BX2, which I'm actually gonna do purple real quick because it's sort of reused a lot at one observer, i.e. You're gonna have observer here, observer here. So this will get a 4 tick, and then this 4 tick. When this extends, the observer will update. When this observer powers from getting pushed, this will update. And then this retracting at the right time will give it a third final pulse really, really fast. And then here you're going to have this, so when this extends, it'll do that, but when it retracts, it'll power. And then that gives enough delay to power this with the 2 tick, because if you didn't know, if you give this a 1 tick, it'll do like the double retraction thing where you have this, and then the input and whatever. So the way we get the final 2 tick is by having a piston here, cyan, block, 2 tick, and then piston. No, it's part of the updater. So this will also give the sort of fast 1 ticks that we need for the final B times 2. And yeah, so that's literally the entire sequence. I think show you. Oh, items in here. So you're gonna want an item in this dropper here, an item in this top dropper here. So you're gonna have items in these two, nothing in this dropper. It's important that this dropper is empty, or else you won't get the 2/3 toggle that we want. So actually, I can show this. Pink won't power, obviously, but this should spit out. And then pink will do this. Again, pink will retract. And this time you won't see a power because of the toggle, but this other one will still power, thankfully. So you'll see this never powers because there was no item in the dropper. Then you get a 4 tick here. So I should have probably showed this, but there was no item in this top dropper when you power it for a third time, so we don't get a signal from the comparator. Yay. If you don't know, if you don't understand dropper toggles, I suggest watching a few videos. Arma, I know, has a few good entity tricks and whatnot, and I think, I don't know when this is coming out, but Cube Master, Cube does stuff on YouTube, is coming out with a hopper timer ROM thing video. Maybe, don't quote me on that. Please don't get me. Please don't get mad if you don't if he doesn't upload. But yeah. So yeah, basically this will only give a signal 2/3 of the time. 2/3 meaning for every 3 times it'll only power twice. I'm not gonna care about the items. Block, piston. So if I were to give this a 1 tick, so you get a signal 1, signal 2, nothing. Signal, and because there's no item in this dropper, nothing. And that's how we get the toggle for A. And this is all of Cyan. It's actually really compact, and you have a ton of room for things. Speaking of room for things, I'm now gonna add the purple bits. This is technically part of lime, but yeah. So I'm gonna start here with this observer that you placed. Observer facing down. Piston, sticky piston. Observer here. Hopper for later. It just has to be transparent. 4 tick, up, across. A comparator. Replace this observer. So when this turns on, this will extend. And then when this finally turns off after both items go through, it'll do this, and then you just get a ton of delay. This actually turns off for a hopper's worth of time, so 3.5 ticks. That is turned into 1.5 ticks, and then the observer just doesn't power when it's down here, and just is immediately pulled back up. So it doesn't power the 4 tick, which is good. You don't want purple powering at the wrong times. And then I really don't want to do this. This is the pink input. I'm actually gonna put obsidian here for now as well, so I don't accidentally do that. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3 1 ticks, and then have observer facing upwards into the glass, obviously, and then piston facing that way. Alright, yeah, that's right. And then another timer. So this one, we can't really have a pressure plate or else it'll power the piston stack. So we use a string as an observer. And then rail here, rail fence, rail, furnace minecart. I did not do an item list, but you can just pause whenever. Ignore the player heads. Yeah. Another cobweb here, and then you're gonna push just get a trap chest, and then another furnace minecart here. So this will limit this break this and this, and get this. So that'll limit it, so it's not, yeah. Not too slow, not too fast. Then you're gonna get a purple block. This is the only way to get the signal across with this thing. So because purple powers when A never powers, we can have a piston here. Place this. So this will go into piston here. This will toggle. So you'll see, yeah, it'll toggle. So only when this string turns off, this will power, and then that'll go into a slab with the floor tick. Actually, is that a slab? Yeah, it's a slab. For obvious reasons. Well, not really obvious. That doesn't do much. There's going to be a piston here, so yeah. Also, purple doesn't really do much, so yeah, it doesn't break, so fun, but just that there. So that's basically the majority of the top, obviously minus pink. And to get pink in, I had to take an output from A, because pink only powers after this B times 2. So normally this B times 2 would have powered every single time, but because I linked it from A, it doesn't power, which is fine, because it's left in, after the third sequence, it's left in the state where it's like this, and B times 2 really wouldn't do much. Sorry, it's left in this state, so B times 2 wouldn't do much. So oh, I got that for sure. Okay. So here, make sure you have obsidian down here and here. You're gonna put a, actually I'll put the string last, but first you're gonna get an output from here, down, because this pushes over, across, this doesn't really matter. I'm gonna put a 2 check here for later. This powering the updater doesn't really matter. Observer facing downwards, another observer facing downwards, and then your piston here. So this is another clip, or cart timer, I guess. So you could have it in one of 3 positions, I guess you could say. You could have the cart sort of clipped in the piston, and usually you'd have it in 4 blocks to get an output. You could also have it in this position here, obviously. Usually you'll have this in two blocks to get the output, and you'll normally have like a pressure plate here or something. But then there's here, and this is where it gets weird, because normally if you were just to roll it in with a rail, it just wouldn't work, ever. I mean, it would work with the sticky piston and the fence gate, or fence post, but then the cart would just be permanently stuck in whatever detection device you're using. So what we have to do is we have to let this sit on a boat, on a slab, and or clipped into a hopper. And obviously we don't have room to put like the web anywhere else. If you look over here, I literally was forced to put the web here because we have that trapdoor there and whatnot. So what you have to do, I'll break this, is get a boat. So this is the third boat of the door, and as far as I know final, unless Guardian sneaked in another boat in the bottom, which I don't think, so there you go. Once you got that in, obviously you need to push that in a bit more. So you're gonna just let this run until it's like halfway in. and then you're gonna want to first get this here. Yeah. Push this block. Actually, yeah. You could have... Oh, God. Should have set this up beforehand. So you're just gonna watch this and break it now. So now you can see it's resting on top of the boat. And now you can see it clips up into something like a string where you can get an observer output. Or that. And this block is actually a hopper. So we get this boat, sort of, not like that, but like sort of clipped into the hopper here. So you can just remove that slab, but for the first time powering, you're definitely going to want to have the slab there. And I just didn't bother removing it from here. So yeah, that's how the clip works, and you can also limit it and whatnot. So yeah, so that's one of like the only ways to get that piston facing down, as far as I know. I'm sure there's other ways, but whatever. You get into these two blocks. So first get this. I'll put the boat in first. Okay, sorry for the cut there. Yeah, I had to go talk to my parents about something. And then I also spent like 10 minutes trying to get this boat, but it turns out you can't do it without world edit, so that hopper actually has to be listed in, which doesn't really change anything, but it still does work. This isn't affected by anything as far as I know. I'm just gonna close this, I guess. I'll come back to that. So you're gonna make sure this is an obsidian and not a hopper, because hoppers have too many internal hitboxes. Now that I think about it, it's probably possible with the dispenser clip, but whatever. Let's get this in here. So then once you get that, either you can boat it or like, you know, boat in or not. Let's ignore my dog in the background, loud. My parents just left, so L. So that's there. If you stand on the boat in CF3, you can see your Y coordinate is 0.625. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this in a bit more. You can now put the card in. Yeah, I don't know why I spent that long just, you know, doing stuff. Pointless stuff, evidently. Now if you get the cobweb here, easy, I say. And then this will be a string. You're gonna have a wooden or iron. I'm gonna make an iron here. You're gonna have to remove this. A fence gate, furnace minecart. Oh yeah, about that. I honestly forgot that happened. Hold on. That's fine. How do I? Hold up, let me just like, man, I don't know why OBS doesn't let me do that. I was about to say I'm gonna pause my recording, but I can't, evidently. Get out of here. Don't do what I just did. So you're gonna actually, why did that happen? Don't do it that way. You have to do it this way into a chest. Well, not necessarily into a chest, but into not into a fence or anything. So just go from here, merge it in, replace your 4-tick here, break these. Now it should stay on that. And here to get cobweb, string, piston facing downward, 2-tick, observer here, observer here. There's your timer, finally. You can see if I were to do that, hit the pulse 1 and pulse 2. That delay is perfectly fine. Yeah, so you're gonna take an output from here, go up into a sticky piston, observer, pinpool. Here, get a hopper here. You go through here again with a dropper. Of course. Oh God. You know what? Hold on. Is there a way I could? That is painful. Oh, I forgot there's a dropper there. So, normally you'd have the dropper here, right? The boat could still be placed and the car could still be placed. Why is it? So it's like not let me. Yeah, OBS doesn't want me to do that for whatever reason, so I'm gonna do another cut so I can get the dropper in here. Actually, no, I'll do it on recording. It's not too bad. Oh God. Make sure you remove that. I'm sorry if you did that with me. I'm terribly sorry. It's not that bad a fix. If you have world edit, just use it. But if you don't, or you're trying to do things legit, well, here you go. Well, semi-legit. I did just use world edit a second ago. I forgot about the boat. How could I be so dumb? My God, my dog just won't shut up. Just gonna walk into the corner there. That positions the boat. How did that happen? There. Now you have the dropper there, and it still works. That block shouldn't be there. Is that still working? I gotta unfuck this lever. I'm not showing you the door, I just wanted to make sure this obsidian thing works. There it goes. Limiter cart. Oh, it's that piston. Okay. Scared me for a second. Chest. Make sure there's a cobweb in there. If there's not, you're gonna be very sad when you have to redo this clip again. That's still there. Now that should be good. So two observers down. So that's how we get the signal down. This probably could be a piston, but not really. Observer, and then block, surfacing downwards, I think. Yeah. 4 tick that, and then observer here. Take an output from here. Dust, 4 tick. This thing's gone through so much, like, I can hardly remember what's what. So, yep. This still can be solid, doesn't really matter. Copper, no. Block, an orange block, because Guardian's gonna kill me otherwise. Yes, I specifically, when making this door, saw, oh, I have that much room, might as well use it, and went directly onto the block. This is a 4 tick, and then this goes directly up. This space will be used for yellow, so okay. And I think, if I'm not missing anything, that is the entire top done. What did I miss? It's a slab for whatever reason. Ignore that. So that is the entirety of this control. Pink already powers. I'm gonna power this once just to make sure that everything's working properly. Don't do it until mine finishes. Also, you get that nice sliding animation. Two. You can see that final dirt. Why did that happen? If that's locational, I'm gonna be mad. That was on the wrong toggle for whatever reason. What? That explains, something's explained, I guess. Wait, what? Oh, that's why. I'm done. This was went too far. That makes sense. Now I know why I broke. There we go. This is why you have Schematica kids. Let's try that again. So to power pink, you just power... Oh god, that's not pink. That's purple. I swear. Bruh. Fucking swear. There. There you go. There it is. That'll go across. Sorry about that. This will retract, as you saw purple powered at the right time. And that's the majority of the top. I'm not going to say the entire top because we also have lime. I'm going to be doing that as well. So lime is the control for the top. Again, I made this exclusively, which again was very, very, very painful. Yeah. So this will be your input. You're going to take a toggled output because we need one of those. This here. This apparently is butted, so don't actually. That'll update it, won't it? No. Now it's updated. Item was bottom dropper. Okay. Cauldron here. I use bottles instead of buckets because I don't want to carry bottles and a bucket, like empty bottles and a bucket on me. Too lazy. So this. This. You're gonna do 2 clips. So you're gonna have a rail here, a rail here. Let that go. Do that. Do the same thing here. Break that rail. That vortex in the way. Oh, you're kidding me. Sorry, I have OCD. Swear. Fine. Close enough. Okay, we have comparator here, furnace here, and an item here. Oh God! Disable that. That's good. That's good. Well, now you get to watch the sequence again. I should fix this. I'm not gonna power it again. I'm gonna move this item to. How did that happen? That's fine. Move these. Here. Oh God, that could have been bad. But yeah, this is the entire top minus the items. So, if you didn't watch the showcase, this might be a surprise to you, but this is the item list, so, yeah. We power the sequence 6 times. So, oh, I can't imitate those. So, 30, 30, 64 and 8. $30 and $30. So again, making sure that this hopper's locked. Bed, 30 of one item. I'm using different. Make sure that these have different names. What did I do wrong? Only 4. So basically, this is bed, item, bed, 30. So bed or unstackable 30, unstackable 30, unstackable 64 plus 8, unstackable 30, unstackable 30, unstackable. So you're gonna have 6 unstackables total and 5 different item stacks. I probably should have made these different items, but if you're gonna use the same item, please make sure they're renamed. If they're not renamed, it's gonna break. It's just gonna break. So please, please, please use different, like, rename the items. I renamed them to delay 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make sure this chest card's empty, and yes, you do have a big gaping hole here. I couldn't be bothered to make it, you know, smaller. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the entire top. Oh, okay, so here's the thing. That's a hopper, isn't it? So disable that. This is a hopper. Here. So that's a hopper. Don't care about Windows backup. So this is technically orange closing from the top. Make sure there's an item in this hopper. This comparator must be on, or else this won't work. Please make sure that's in. And yeah, that's the entire top done. So flip the lever. That's the bottom. Will push this up to here, and then all of this will be up. And if you haven't noticed already, or if you haven't seen the showcase, this has a really, really, really long delay. So I'm gonna just talk and get some water while we wait. So this door again was made with myself, GuardienGamer, or Target Block is Bad, as his current name is, and Bruhjef. This was made on this server. I did the entire top, hence why I'm doing the top tutorial alone. GuardienGamer and Bruhjef will be doing the bottom half of the tutorial. So yeah, I probably shouldn't be saying this in the video, considering it's probably going to be seen by a ton of people, but I am doing this video for a rank submission, whatever you want to call it. If you're watching this all the way through, first of all, thank you for watching this all the way through. And second of all, I technically made this top alone, so it's a separate build from the bottom, question mark. If you want to think of it that way, so yeah. But this, finally, make sure this is empty before powering this again. And if you're wondering how I'm powering, I'm just powering this piston like so. And hopefully this works. So first you're gonna see this go through. So that'll spit out. I'm not gonna power this, so I'd break it. And then there's actually very little downtime when this door's going. Because it's very optimized in my opinion. Like that, purple powers it almost immediately. And then this bottom, the reason I don't start it immediately is I could shorten this down to like 14 items, I think it was. But the bottom tape is still going while we wait, so this works out. That and this top, like the final retraction happens as soon as the final tape of the bottom finishes. It's not visible, but this piston's still going through. But yeah, it seems to be working. So it's doing the quint level retraction, if this is a sextuple level retraction down here. There's also a big derp there, but I can't really fix it, so whatever. And yeah, there's no reset time on the opening. Well, as long as you don't spam it, but yeah. toggles, if you can finally try this. This must be down, server down. This must be up, so touching this top piston, not down here. No, this is bad. You must have an air gap next to the string. This should be down, obviously. What else is there? There's not many toggles in the store. Oh, dropper toggle. Item in... So basically this comparator must be off, but item in these two droppers, so 1, 2. No item in this dropper. And yeah, that's it basically. Items should all be in this chest here, not this chest. When the door's open, obviously. This should be up, not down. So next to the piston and the floor tick. And yeah, that's it really. So thanks for watching this half of the tutorial. The second half will be on Guardian's channel. I'll be linking that in the description once it goes out. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to me, Bruhjef, Guardian. Their channel links will be in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.